Hello everybody, I am Anup Singh Rana. Let's come on to the third part of the video presentation which have been posted on the LinkedIn. So we talked about employee retention, we talked about talent acquisition, we talked about PMS system, then we talked about say somewhat about the learning and development and leadership competencies based assessment. Let's talk today about succession planning. So basically what happens is that when you do any appraisal system in the organization, for normalization of rating, you follow the bell curve in the organization. So that bell curve can be either 10-80-10, which is the standard as per the academics. In one of the organization, we use 20-70-10. Top 20% are the key performers in the organization, and same way they are key performers in the department also. There are certain departments which have more weightage as compared to the support functions. So when we identify this 20% of key employees, we need to have a retention strategy specifically focused upon them. And for that, we need to have succession planning in place. So in succession planning, we need to have a 9-box grid mechanism in which we have to benchmark every employee based on, say, the performance and the potential parameter. Though in India, in most of the organizations, this is the exercise carried out in-house only. Otherwise, they have the assessment centers in the organization which do this all exercise. So basically, the the thing is that when we plan the retention strategies for these employees, we need to specifically focus that what is going to retain them for long term in the organization. The next part, which is of very critical importance, is when you are working in a manufacturing organization, whether in the plant or the corporate, is you are responsible for the compliances both at the plant as well as the corporate level. So, and if you have a say, if you are non-unionized workforce, then it becomes a bit easier. Otherwise, because I have worked in the organization where there were no unions present, so long-term settlement with the unions. In my profile, I have never done it. But as far as negotiating the piece rate with the contractors, managing the contract labors, so I've mentioned earlier that I have managed around contract labors of 750 to 1000 in a seasonal agro-based industry where the requirement of manpower used to fluctuate based on the produce which was coming out from the farms and the partner farmers. So in compliances, we have been dealing with this, say, director of factories, labor commissioner's office, then even in some organization, pollution control board, local police. So all kind of say licensing happens at the plant level. Mostly it happens at the plant level, and there is some part which happens at the corporate level also. Then coming on to the CSR activity, when I was with one of the organization, we have one of the schools which we have which we were managing as a part of our CSR activities, in which the people from the say unprivileged families were taking the education from those schools. Then we had volunteer exercise available for the employees where they can volunteer for some of the activities which generally helps in the say any of the cause, that can be any cause. And the other things which I mentioned was basically taking care of audits in the organization. Basically, I've handled all, say, statutory compliance audit, social compliance audit like ethical trading initiatives, fair work practices, then food safety audits when I was working with FMCG organization, then some ASME related audit, American Society of Mechanical Engineers. So these kind of audit exposure also I've got in my various tenures. I've worked with various organizations. So by this, I think moreover I have covered all the aspects of HR. There are certain parts like compensation